This is Carson Edwards from the Boston Celtics, and you're listening to the Boiler Breakdown podcast hosted by Tanner Lee, Evan Webb, and Andrew Eiler.
What's up, you guys? Tanner Lee here with Andrew Eiler and Evan Webb for another weekly edition of the Boiler Breakdown podcast. A little different one this week as we're not reviewing a game because the Boilers didn't have any game to review last week thanks to Wisconsin's surge of the COVID-19, which I think we all kind of expected when we were talking about it last week that it was probably going to happen, but still a bummer to see. Even if they were going to be a less manned Wisconsin team, I still wanted to take them on and try to beat them for the first time since 2003 because they were still ranked 10th. And of course, Wisconsin's now ready to play Michigan this week. Now their cases are down enough they can play. In other words, both of our quarterbacks are ready to go, so we want to play. It'll be interesting, but it was an interesting week around the Big Ten. Saw a few surprising results. Unfortunately, Indiana over Michigan.
Can we start with that?
It was just get that out of the way. And then Maryland over Penn State.
Try not to follow that one, Tanner.
Maryland over Penn State was a big time shocker. So you got to come to play every week in the Big Ten, that's for sure. If we've learned anything through the first 3 weeks, it's a week league.
I honestly just looked at like the Ohio State Rutgers score. How did Rutgers score 27 points?
I will say Greg
Did Ohio State give
Schiano
up?
fighting hard. They just kept fighting. It ran a lot of trick plays. So, but Ohio State still looks head and shoulders better than everybody in the conference.
Oh yeah, I mean it was like 35-7 at halftime or something. 35-3. Yeah.
And I guess the only good thing about the Big Ten not allowing any fans outside of family is we don't have to worry about 10,000 plus running on the field during a pandemic.
True.
Like they did up in South Bend. So, but I got a comment here on Periscope from Ultimate Boiler. As we all saw coming, Northwestern and Purdue undefeated and vying for a top spot in the Big Ten West.
In November.
Absolutely. No, if you would have told me that start of the year that both Purdue and Northwestern would be undefeated going into this week, I would have been feeling really well because I would have thought we beat Wisconsin. Like I mentioned, a team that's the thorn in Purdue's side. But still happy to be 2-0, sitting right where we want. Big Ten West. That's why this game coming up Saturday night's huge against the Wildcats. Primetime game. I mean, biggest home game since when, you think?
Well, I guess what do you define big? I mean, the Ohio State
importance.
Okay, importance.
Because I mean, the Tyler Trent game was memorable, but
right. I mean, that was a big game just because you had number 2 coming in.
Yeah, we were going in with what? Were we under 500 at the time? I think.
I can't remember. I looked at their schedule. To see where they were at. They were 7-0, so we were probably. I don't remember. I guess you could always
3-4, maybe.
Look it up.
That was.
I know we had beaten
Ohio,
Illinois, and Nebraska.
Yeah. And we lost to Louisville.
Yeah, because we had lost to Northwestern, Eastern Michigan, and Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't Brown's first year. No, you're right.
No,
it was Rondell Moore.
Yeah,
Never mind. I'm thinking Ohio. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Then we beat Boston College, beat Nebraska, beat Illinois. So we were 3-3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Ohio would have been the year before.
The year before,
because we had a bye week in between Nebraska and Illinois.
That's right.
I mean, I just don't know why. Was 2018 Iowa? Was that game a pretty big game? I don't know why that one sticks out in my mind.
Yeah, that was a big. I mean, they were ranked. It was kind of the same scenario. They were ranked. I mean, I would almost say this is the biggest home game Purdue's had since the last time we ranked in 2007 when we were undefeated and Ohio State was undefeated, and it was an ABC night game.
I mean, you could argue 2017 bucket game just because
that's what I was leaning toward. Get back to a bowl. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Just from the importance, man. The Ultimate Boiler here has a comment too about another one. I think that one. I mean, I think it's definitely probably head and shoulders above any other probably in the last 20 years for sure. But we haven't gotten to that level quite yet.
No, that's
baby steps.
And another one that was an interesting game was the 2012 against Michigan.
Yeah.
We got blown out, but at that time we were one loss to Notre Dame. So a good friend of my dad's here, Pete Smith, said we should have beaten Nebraska and Missouri. Painful losses. Absolutely, they were. Missouri, we just couldn't stop Drew Lock, but they couldn't stop us either. That was a shootout. That was a fun game to be at. And then Nebraska, of course, a quarterback named Tanner Lee had to go down the field on a game-winning drive. So that was the first of many letdowns from a Nick Holt defense late in the year. Late in the game, I should say, not year. But we don't got to worry about that anymore. It's Bob Diaco, the bend but don't break defense. So, but this Northwestern team looks for real so far in the first 3 games of the season. Peyton Ramsey's made a heck of a world of a difference for this team. I mean, we're familiar with him, of course, being the ex-Indiana Hoosier quarterback, and he gave us problems last year in the bucket game. But he can make plays with not only his arm but his feet. That's what makes him real dangerous. Patty Fisher still leads the way for Nebraska. It's the linebacker that he feels kind of like Brian Cardinal, as in terms of it feels like he's been there for a decade, or maybe Robbie Hummel. It feels like he's been in college for a decade. But this Northwestern defense is very good, and they're healthy. They haven't gave up a second half point all year so far.
I didn't know that.
So they beat Maryland by 40 week 1. And they beat Iowa at Iowa week 2, and then took care of business of Nebraska this week. So,
but Purdue's defense hasn't given up a point in the first quarter or third quarter or something.
Really,
I think
that's what I thought I read. Maybe it was just the third quarter.
Third quarter. I think that sounds right. I have no idea. I have no facts to back that up, but it sounds right.
I like it. I like the way it sounds, Andrew. But historically, Purdue's had pretty good success against Northwestern. They lead a series 51-32-1. Last year we snapped a 5-game losing streak against the Wildcats. If you remember that game up in Evanston, that was Aiden O'Connell's first start. It was the week after Jack Plummer snapped his ankle against Nebraska. And we did have some luck on our side. A pass interference call towards the end. Got some field goal range. Dellinger hit the game-winning field goal. But we have not beat Northwestern in Ross-Ade since 2007.
That's
2018, Rondell Moore's first game. That should have been the year.
Yes, that was a
hell of a
Thursday
game,
night opener.
Yeah, that should have been it. Thursday night
Moore,
game.
Said hello to the college football world, and
300 something all-purpose yards or something.
Does Rondell Moore say hello to the college football world for 2020 this week?
Oh man, I sure hope so.
Well, what do you guys think? Yes or no?
Oh man, I really hope so, but I mean,
I don't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, it was kind of like, yeah. I mean, I feel good about it for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe just because of reading message boards and people maybe just just saying things and maybe have no basis in reality. But I mean, he came back for a reason. He could have sat out the entire year, so I feel like we should expect to see him. I mean, why not this week?
I mean, a 7:30 Saturday night primetime game
Really
should
important for the West.
Yeah. And I would think if he's going to improve on his brand, oh, come on.
Come on, Mooney.
Thad Mooney, a good friend of the show, says hard no. I know Mooney's been kind of over Rondell's shtick.
I mean, I don't blame him. I mean,
it's been frustrating.
It's been frustrating.
What's frustrating is we just don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
but it's always the coaches don't say anything, which they don't have to.
The vest, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I do think he's going to play. I'm pretty optimistic, kind of, because I feel like the Golden Black guys, Tom Dienhart and Brian Newbert, have been kind of hinting at it a little bit without saying it. So I feel like they've kind of got their ear to the ground there. And,
I felt like they were hinting Lorenzo Neal though last year too.
Yeah.
That didn't work out.
That's good. Pete Smith said, just think if Northwestern still had been
try it out, Tam.
No, I'm not trying that one out. Homestead grad who's now at Notre Dame. That is right. Yeah, Northwestern, Fitzgerald's done a good job up there getting some talent.
Almost been there forever.
Yeah, 16 years, I believe. But I do think Rondell's going to play this week. David Bell had a Snapchat of Rondell in the locker room this week. So
despite
he's definitely on campus no matter what.
Despite what a IU homer kind of basketball radio host in Indianapolis says that Rondell is not on campus, we can debunk that right here on the Boiler Breakdown.
Hey, remember, according to docket sources, Jeff Brom's going to be Louisville's head coach come Monday. So,
2 weeks? Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Daniel Dockage, man, gotta love him a little bit. Christopher says, I agree. Since it's a primetime game, he's got to play to improve his brand because he had one good year, and I don't think that is enough for pro scouts. I'm glad he brought that up. That's kind of what I wanted to hit on. We're seeing like Bateman up for Minnesota. He's having a pretty good year so far.
They're trash, but
they are trash. The defense is trash.
Yeah, they're just trash.
We're seeing some other wide receivers that were close to Rondell, if not a little behind him in the mock drafts, playing well. I think he wants to prove to the pro scouts, yes, I can stay healthy. Yes, I'm still as good, if not better, than I was 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it was crazy that he's had one season and he's probably good enough to be a second-round pick in the NFL, which is crazy. I mean, because he did it as a freshman, so I think it's if he's trying to get that first-round stock, he's got to play, and it's got to be in meaningful games. I feel like. Yep.
Pete Smith says, coaches do not have to tell you, media guys, speaking from experience, keeping you guys able to talk more. Absolutely understand. Yeah, it's
just wish we could. We just wish we knew.
It's different, I guess, from the past regimes of Purdue football, and maybe that's why some of the past regimes didn't do very well. Gave away too much, and the opposition was able to prepare.
Do you think this changed with Brom? I don't remember his first or second year really. I think it was just kind of evolved as he's gotten more comfortable,
high-profile players,
or just learning as he's become more of a head coach at a bigger program. That he gets asked these questions and people care.
Mainstream or not mainstream, but high-level media is clamoring for a Western Kentucky injury report. So I think it's definitely what you just said earlier. I think it's more of he's just learning as he goes in a Power 5 school.
Ultimate Boiler says, yeah, he's just got to stay away from Texas Roadhouse. Apparently, that was a fun rumor on the message boards. Who knows? I don't know. Might be true.
I would love to have that be confirmed.
Watch out for the peanut shells there at Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, for real.
Well, hopefully we see number 4 in uniform under the lights Saturday night, because I really want to see him and David Bell.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Not only is he a weapon, he can get other guys open to be a distraction to get guys like David Bell, Milton Wright, Payne Durham, Ahmad Anderson, those guys open. So
no.
You think number 5 plays?
No.
I'm not.
I'm worried about him.
Yeah.
I'm just a little worried. I feel like when it comes to George, there's a lot of people on the message boards that know him and the family pretty well.
Yeah.
Just from local connection, I just feel like from a few things I've read, it could be a little while. Don't want to speculate really, but Pete Smith, when does Jackson Anthrop return? Good question. Brom was asked that yesterday, and I guess he is back in practice right now with an orange jersey on, which is non-contact. But he's making a more speedy recovery than they initially thought he would. So he's still a few weeks away, but it does look like he will get back on the field sometime this year, which is great news for him. Mm-hmm. Particularly if he doesn't really have plans to come back next year.
Yeah.
The more the merrier, depth-wise this year. Might as well use it.
Yeah.
So, so how are you guys feeling going into this game? And I know the weird thing was Purdue opened up at least on one line as a 2.5-point favorite, and it's flipped 5 points now as we're a 3.5-point underdog. It's like, what does Vegas know?
I feel weirdly optimistic. I think part of it is just because we didn't play this last week, so it's like, hey, we're 2-0, why not? But then I think back and it's like, okay, well, I think Iowa's better than obviously the record shows. I mean,
they look good this weekend.
They look good, yeah. I don't like looking at the box score of the Illinois game and seeing them beat a depleted Illinois team by 7. Granted, we were up by 17, but we let them come back into the game. I feel like, having a week off, get some guys healthier, giving, another week of just focusing solely on Northwestern, you'd think that should help. I have no idea. I'm not a football coach or a football player. I don't know. I think I'm feeling pretty similar to 2018 where I thought it was going to be a good game, which I hope the result is different this time. But I don't know. I feel weirdly optimistic.
I'm torn on. I'm the other way. I didn't feel very good like a week ago, and then I have not watched a single play from Northwestern this year, and just kind of looking and outside of, well, I guess I was more of like, oh crap. I mean, they put up 43 points against Maryland. Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
We beat Iowa by 1, which
and then
looking at that, I'm like, okay, well, we beat Iowa by 7.
Iowa had
and they only had
for a good majority of that game.
Yeah.
And they only had like 280 yards of like total offense.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, which is kind of, where's the real Northwestern here? The 43 points against Maryland, or like the 280 yards of offense?
Like we can say that about a lot of the Big Ten teams right now. It's like, who's the real next? You know, Ultimate Boiler, just try not to think about how Purdue could be ranked if they win this weekend. Yeah, if they win this weekend, they got a good chance to get back in the rankings for the first time since 2007 and snap the nation's longest streak of not being ranked. That's just sad.
Kansas has been ranked before.
Yeah, they've been ranked since we have. Christopher says
that one year they were like,
we're not going to win Sunday night. Well, so what do experts know? That's true. The whole Sunday night.
They all picked. That game was over quick.
I even picked the Buccaneers in my pick'em league. I hate to say it. So I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad I was proven wrong. Drew looked good. Saints looked good, and they flipped the whole NFC playoff picture.
Speaking of, did you guys see the graphic before the game of like quarterbacks with a winning record against Tom Brady?
I did.
Drew Brees just adding to it, and number like 3 on the list.
Kyle Orton 2-1.
Oh yeah, baby.
Who were those with? What team was he with?
Once was with the Broncos in 2009.
Bills? Yeah. I'm giving these. We got to be with the Bills.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The other one. Yep. I don't know what team he would have lost with.
Probably the Bears, Webby.
Yeah.
It might have been. I don't think it was with the Broncos.
I mean, if he was with the Bills, he would have played twice.
Yeah, that's true, but it was
probably with the Bills.
Yeah, you're right. Because it wouldn't been the Cowboys or the Chiefs where he played like 4 games.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think, he was on the Cowboys, right? I'm not just making that up in my head.
I did not remember him on the Cowboys.
That big Sunday night game was the last game of the year. Winners get in the playoffs.
I think you're watching at Andrew's house.
I was called, and I'm like, Kyle Orton, game-winning drive here. He's going to be a legend. I remember that.
That was kind of Kyle's career in a nutshell. Yeah. When the big play needed to be made, he just couldn't do it. I remember the first game of the 2011 season for the Broncos was the second Monday night game against the Raiders. And he had a wide open Brandon Lloyd on a slant route. All he had to do was throw the ball. It was going to be a touchdown. Broncos would take the lead late. He brings it back to throw, slips out of his hands. Oakland at the time, and so Vegas recovers it, wins the game. It's like, oh boy. So the Tebow chance started week 1 that year. So, but I'm feeling pretty good about this game this weekend. I mean, as long as we keep everybody healthy and safe from the virus, I'm feeling pretty good going forward. I mean, from a schedule standpoint on paper, we can't ask for a better schedule forward, even though Wisconsin could go 6-0 and jump over everybody, unless we go undefeated. That is.
Yeah. So that's my question is, so, I mean, where does that, I just haven't looked at and really looked into it much. So if we say we go undefeated and Wisconsin goes undefeated, are they picking us just because we have more games?
Yes, a higher winning percentage, and if we had more games. But say we win all of them but lose 1, and Wisconsin goes 6-0, even though we played more games, they get it. Strictly on win percentage. Yeah, it could really cause some messes and some really bad looks. But do you guys think that we'll see any kind of throwback uniform?
I've been seeing that online, and I don't know where it came from, but
edition of the Rose Bowl team.
That's when I realized I made the connection. But
got this baby in the mail yesterday.
When did you order that? I feel like you ordered that like a year ago.
I feel like it's been a while.
It does have the Big Ten Champions 2020th anniversary helmet sticker back there.
So you mean maybe this was by design that they all shipped like this weekend?
Could have been.
Yeah, that was I think it was Boiler Uniforms on Twitter was given reasons why it could be we could have a throwback, and it was the 20th anniversary, the closest to us, the date closest to us clinching a game. At least it's a home game because we have been close to the bucket game by this point. At that point in 2000, what was the other reasons they gave? Primetime game, it's homecoming.
Mhm.
don't go to campus though.
Rondell Moore. That's what it is. Rondell
But
Moore's back. He's back.
I just can't imagine Nike shelling out that money to make jerseys once for Purdue. I don't know.
They did in 2010.
A little different in 2010. We really had somewhat competitive. I feel like. I mean, we weren't coming off a 4-win season, or were we?
We were coming off a 5-win season, 09.
We didn't have Rondell Moore then either.
You're
Webby.
right. It was the forgettable year, a forgettable
Yeah.
game because we beat Minnesota during homecoming.
Yeah.
But it was the day Robbie tore his ACL, but they wore it was head to toe the same white jerseys. The whole uniform was a throwback to the 2000 Rose Bowl team. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do here. Pete Smith says as long as they don't wear those ugly gray uniforms from a few years ago. Yeah, I those what did they call those? Acrylic, I think. Those are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were not. I did not like those.
I have a feeling they're going to go black
All
union,
black.
black pants, and then chrome helmet.
Yeah, it's time to break. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, I don't.
But I would absolutely. I would love a 2000s throwback uni. That's
It'll
awesome.
be cool. If we hear that Northwestern's wearing like black jerseys, then that means we're wearing white or something. So
Yeah.
that would be a tip. Ultimate Boiler says O'Connell, Demore, Holy Toledo. Sign me up. I like it. Holy Toledo 2.0. It's time. It's been long enough, but we will see. I don't see them going with those helmets with the current jerseys. I don't think that would look very good. But
No. I mean, they did bring especially after Tiller passed, they brought back the Tiller
That's a good
style
point.
helmets. So those are definitely something still. And there was, I can't remember, so I don't even know why I'm bringing it up, but there was something, it might have been Bowler Uniforms on Twitter too, was bringing up that the reason we wore the same helmet back to back weeks this year, so like there's another cast of a helmet that they could paint for the Rose Bowl. That was it was a reason that could potentially be that type of helmet. I have no idea. I don't know equipment.
we will probably
also.
well now they'll probably post the threads on Friday. I was gonna say we probably won't know till Saturday, but they'll probably post them on Friday on their Twitter account.
Yeah.
Now Rondell Moore, we probably won't know until Mike Carmen or somebody tweets Saturday.
Could it be a back in black scenario where they tweet out the threads and then they go into the locker room and come out in a new?
Could
that'd
be.
Cool.
Could be. There was a good. I don't know what Twitter account did it this week. I saw Boiled Sports and Chris Foreman tweeted to him. It was, "What uniform would you bring back for your favorite team if you could?" And
To the Rose Bowl uniforms. I mean, the whole Breeze era uniform.
The Breeze, my first jersey, my first Purdue jersey, the
Yeah.
Breeze.
which were I think those were champion, weren't they? We
They
even
were
like-
champion.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
basketball wise, I wanted to bring back a variation of like what Cardinal wore.
Yes.
Because Foreman liked the black version of Big Dog's jersey back in the early
I'd
90s.
like to see those, but I think as a, the Cardinal jerseys for sure. They had like the train tracks around the trim.
The trim. Christopher says, "How about something for Veterans Day?" That
Could be.
could be. Purdue usually does like to tie that in. And without fans there, I don't know if Iowa was their military, would have been a military appreciation or not. I have no idea. I don't know how they're doing that. I just know this week is homecoming, even though it.
Is it virtual?
Ultimate Boiler said, "Did you guys see the all gold uni with black or dark gray shoulders?"
That was the thing I shared with you guys. On the group chat. I was not a fan.
Yeah.
If it was, I think maybe black pants, I would have been okay with it. But just
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the jersey straight into the pants.
I would like to have a new alternate jersey. I feel like we're good on helmets. I mean, we added the white helmet last year with the black P. We got the chrome helmet. We got the black helmet. We got the gold helmet.
Think they'll wear the moon helmets again?
No.
Damn.
Those are sweet. That was the helmet that took forever to come last year, Andrew. That I ordered.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
They'll get into the basketball thing. They go to the Space Coast Challenge in a couple weeks.
Somebody asked Foreman. He said no. That's all. He said, no. Yeah, they go, okay. So, yeah, I really wish our basketball would get another variation of a jersey. I mean, we got gold, black, white, and gray, but and we wear those.
It's got to be getting close to getting a new jerseys for basketball.
That's maybe what I meant. New style. I mean, Ohio State today, which I didn't think those were the greatest, but
I like them.
you like them?
I think they're better. I think it's an
they're better.
improvement.
Yeah.
I feel like they've had the same uniforms for the last. I mean, since Evan Turner. I feel like they've had the same. They might have switched up a little bit. I have no idea. But I like the change.
I miss the Purdue basketball uniforms from like 09, even though they're hard to read on TV.
Those were sweet. Yeah, I had an Etuan all black one.
Yep, those were sharp. They were hard to read on TV, but I liked those a lot. Those were, and our teams were good then, really, really good. So that helps too with the memories. But before we get into picking some Big Ten games, do you guys have any memorable Purdue Northwestern games or memories?
No. I mean, I guess 2018 just because of
2018.
Rondale.
Yeah.
And I know I was just for me personally, I was in St. Louis for work, so I had just gotten promoted and was in training. So I had a big presentation on Friday, and I was pissed because I was trying to stay up and watch the game while also working. So I didn't get a whole lot of work done that night.
That was a fun one.
I think that was the first game that my wife Isabella and that she had gone to, and we were like fourth row in the end zone behind like where the band.
Yeah,
what?
Right. I met you guys, with you guys at halftime. I remember that.
And I remember telling her, I'm like, the whole time I'm like, watch number 4, like watch him, and then he just dominated. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is fun.
If you remember, Rondale dropped a wide open first down, like one of the first plays.
Yeah.
It's like, but then a few plays later, he scored a touchdown. And
then it was, and then it was like, there he goes again.
Yeah. I guess a memorable game is probably just watching the 2010. Yep. With Rob Henry, just because again it was they were ranked. Was that the last time we? No, that's not right. The last time we beat a ranked team, but that was the first time we beat a ranked team in a while, if I remember correctly. So I remember that one because he had that big 60 yard
run that got caught behind. But that was such a weird game because it was opening up Big Ten play. Like I said, Northwestern was number 25. It was one of the first Big Ten night games I could kind of remember from Big Ten Network night game. I should say not Big Ten night games. And we were coming off a loss against Toledo, which we lost Robert Marv. We already didn't have Ralph Bolden. Keith Smith was already hurt, so nobody was giving us a chance. Rob Henry's coming in as a redshirt freshman for his first start, and Dan Deerking dominated the game that night. The defense played well, and we were able to come out with a victory. And then, like I said, we beat Minnesota, and we were looking decent at that time, and then didn't win a game from then on. And so, yeah, but let's go ahead and pick some Big Ten games while we're at it. Let's see here.
What app you using, Tan?
Score. It's the one I always use. Yeah, we got a Friday night game this week. Iowa at Minnesota.
Does Minnesota have 4 Friday games? It feels like they've got at least 2.
They got at least 3. They already played one against Maryland. They play us Friday night, which I checked the temperature on weather.com yesterday in Minneapolis. It's supposed to be low of 31, so it's not terrible. Next Friday, I mean, it's going to be chilly, but it's not as bad as it could be.
Yeah.
Just a second before we get to the games, we got a comment here. Robert Ranney, Breeze getting more rushing yards than Damian Anderson. Oh, that's a good one. That's a throwback there.
Throwback game.
Damian Anderson was up for the Heisman in 2000 when Breeze got 3rd. Damian got 5th. Damian Thompson got 4th. Michael Vick got 6th. First and second was Chris Winkie won it, and Josh Heupel. Now the UCF coach got 2nd. Yeah. Iowa's at Minnesota. Iowa, though, is a 3.5-point favorite on the road.
I'm taking the Hawkeyes just because I want them to win, just so our win looks better. That's an emotional pick.
Oh man, I would love to see Minnesota keep staying constipated and not improving.
That guy, his stick, man. I swear it's going to get old up there soon. It would.
I mean, it only works if you win.
You're right. He had a great year last year.
When PJ Fleck shows up with the book, everybody poops. How many 20-year-old kids in the locker room are like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
That's putting it nicely, I'm sure. Yeah. We came to play for this guy. But unfortunately, I'm going to be the outlier here, and I'm going to take Minnesota. I think they got a little more talent on offense. Their defense is, like I said, crap. But I I don't know. I just feel like they're going to get this one done.
So Iowa put up some points last week.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Michigan State, Lombardi was awful last week. I know Iowa was up 21-0 at one point, and then Michigan State gave up a kick return touchdown, and then they got the ball back in the first play after the next kickoff. They threw a pick six. So they gave up 14 points in 21 seconds to go down 35-0.
So you mean our crossover games to the east, we may not have gotten the easy schedule?
Rutgers fights. Yeah, it's going to be – we're going to have to wait and see. I'm going to throw up on this one. Number 10, Indiana. Oh, God. At Michigan State, Indiana's 8-point favorites. Number 10. I never thought I'd see that in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I think they do have some talent.
Yeah, they're going to – IU's going to cover that.
I think they're going to cover it easily. I think it's a 3-touchdown game.
I think they win as well, and then that sets up a big undefeated matchup against Ohio State next week with the horseshoe.
Yeah.
Illinois at Rutgers. My phone doesn't have a line, but last time I knew Rutgers was favored.
Yeah, I've got Rutgers 6.5.
First time they've been favored in what, 4 years in the Big Ten? 3 or 4 years?
Yeah,
give me Rutgers.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they cover. I mean, is Illinois getting – they've got some guys
back. A lot of their guys back this week. Yeah. But I don't think they win a game.
Lovey going to make it to the season?
It's interesting because
I think with COVID, there's going to be some more of a pass, but I think Harbaugh's done. I don't think he's not going to get a pass with COVID.
I don't think he gets fired.
I don't either.
I think he walks away, or
it's hard to fire a school legend.
Yeah,
like
especially.
I think the NFL still is interested in him for some reason.
Yes, I think if like someone like the Jets offers him, I think he takes it just as a way just to make it like he doesn't get fired. He takes it off the pressure off the athletic department. Yeah, I think he takes the first NFL job that if it's the Bears, it wouldn't be. But
hey, the White Sox might have an opening here soon.
The White Sox. So that's working out well already. So
I'm saying Next question.
Moving on. Another coach that maybe is getting a little warm. What do you guys think? James Franklin, Penn State getting a little warm?
I don't think so.
Not this year.
But this is the toilet bowl right now. Penn State 3 Nebraska. Penn State's a 3-point favorite.
I think Penn State is due, and I would love to see them just absolutely dominate.
I want to go back in time to about 4 weeks ago and tell Nebraska fans that they're going to have the same record as Ohio. They're going to have as many wins as Penn State going into their game, and just see just how insufferable they would be, and just watch the downfall.
And how about Frost? Is he going to get any heat on the seat? I mean,
he's kind of the same boat as Harbaugh. I mean, he's like everybody loves him. I think I don't. Maybe next year I think maybe at the end of the year he's not getting fired, but he's gonna there's gonna be talks that like okay, he needs to start going the other direction here next year.
I agree with you guys. I think Penn State gets this one.
Yeah.
Number 3, Ohio State at surprising 2-1 Maryland. Ohio State's 25-point favorite. Tua's little brother has really played well the last 2 weeks after not playing well week 1 against Northwestern. Well, I think Ohio State wins, and they do cover, but not by much.
Yeah, I don't think they do cover. I feel like it's going to happen like last week with Rutgers. I feel like they're going to coast in that
and then
second half.
And the other night game, this is the ABC night game. Number 13, 1-0 Wisconsin at 1-2 Michigan.
I am stunned. I'm kind of surprised it's only Wisconsin by 4 is what I have.
Yeah,
I don't have one on my phone. So
this is Wisconsin -4. I would have thought it would have been a little more than that, just how bad Michigan's looked.
Yeah, and they looked really good week 1 against Minnesota.
Yeah. Then we learned Minnesota's defense was awful.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'm just hoping for the West's sake.
Yeah, I'm picking Michigan.
Because they got to come out fighting, don't they?
Yeah, oh yeah.
They got to come out.
Quarterback looked awful against Indiana.
Yeah, Melton looked terrible.
Awful.
I think Wisconsin wins big.
Ooh, that might not spell well.
You're saying that because your wife's from there.
Yeah. Oh, she hates Wisconsin though.
And then, of course, wrapping up the Big Ten, the biggest game, one of the biggest games in the country. Number
The
23,
game, as some people are calling it.
number
Those people being
23,
us.
Northwestern at our Boilermakers. Northwestern's a 2.5-point favorite.
Did we know the weather? What's the weather gonna be like Saturday? Because if it's a bad weather, then I think that's really not good for Purdue.
You're right.
I think Purdue.
It's too bad game days at Augusta this week. Or that
I've got a high of 52 and a 40% chance of rain. Now, whether that 40%.
Maybe that's in the morning.
That's yeah.
I'll take the Oilers.
I'm taking the Oilers for sure. Do we see another running back?
What?
Do we see another running back outside of Horvath run the ball?
I think we're gonna. Well,
if Daru can go, yes, but if not, no.
Yeah.
You don't think?
I think they love Horvath. I mean, and why not? Horvath's been producing, even though he did have a little fumbling problem at Illinois. But
okay, mine doesn't look like much chance of rain, but it is Tuesday night, so we are.
Did you see per game? David Bell leads the Big Ten in receiving yards per game. Aiden leads the Big Ten passing yards per game, and Horvath's second in rushing yards per game. Pretty nice little list to be on. So I'm taking the Boilers. I'm going to throw out a score prediction. Number 4 returns, so we're going to put up some points on the good Northwestern defense. 31-20, Purdue.
Wow.
I think Purdue needs to hit 30.
I was going to say that's 28-24.
I'm going to say Purdue, 34-24.
I like it.
Okay.
Yep. I'll take it any way we can get it.
I'll take a W. I don't care how or in what way we get it.
And let's hit a few top 25 games before we switch gears and get into something else here. I won't go for them all. I'll just go for a few good matchups. Number 9, Miami, Florida at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's a 2.5-point favorite, coming off a loss last week.
So Virginia Tech is favored in back-to-back games against ranked opponents.
Yep.
Where they're not ranked.
Yep.
Wow.
Miami.
Miami.
Yeah, I'm taking Miami.
De'Ara King looked awesome Friday night for Miami against NC State. He's up there for the Heisman talk. He's the Houston transfer quarterback. But I'm going to take the Hokies. I'm going a different direction there. Feeling good.
Are they Long fans? Is ACC Long fans?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Notre Dame is.
Clemson, Notre Dame. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Number 12, Georgia at Missouri. I was surprised Georgia got spanked by Florida. I thought Georgia was good in that game. Bounce back and get it done.
Yeah, they went hard.
Then they cover, yeah.
Number 20, USC, who I don't know how they pulled that one out of their butt last week. They scored 2 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds to beat Herm Edwards. I think his team was not ready to play to win the game. They're at ex-Purdue football player Kevin Sumlin and his Arizona Wildcats. USC's a 14-point favorite. I'm taking the Trojans in a cover.
Yeah, I'm taking Trojans.
Yeah, sure.
It's hard when it's 1 and overs.
Oh, it is.
Gosh.
It is. So USC should.
And when the Pac-12, how many games did they actually play last week? 2, 4? 2 were canceled?
4 of their 6, I believe, yeah.
Well, how many games canceled this week for the SEC? I got at least 3.
This week, there's, a lot. This week, they're kind of, not good. Number 2, Notre Dame. That just makes me want to throw up. At Boston College. A good Boston College team, though. Well, they're 5-3. Better than they have been. Notre Dame's 13.5-point favorites.
Boston College took Clemson to the wire.
They did.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Notre Dame, of course, was in the news a little bit because their whole stadium rushed the field during a pandemic the other night. That was smart. And I just laugh because I get it. They beat the number 1 team in the nation, even though that team was missing their starting quarterback and 2 of their studs on defense. But you're number 4th ranked team in the country, and you're just in the college football playoff a handful of years ago. You were in the national championship in 2012. You pride yourself in your historic tradition. Act like you've been there before. It's pretty embarrassing, really, I thought. But
I don't know. Being the number 1 team in the country is kind of a big deal. I get that. I was thinking it was more of just like, how stupid can you get that?
Too, but
COVID.
I mean, think about it, like when teams come into Mackey, Purdue never rushes the court when they upset somebody.
I mean, part of that is that we have to drop down.
Can you? Yeah, you have to go over
Yeah.
the
Like
bench,
8
like
feet.
jump the.
They
It's like
did it-
jump the press box.
It's Wisconsin. I've seen it done before.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, I was when they rushed, I was like, seriously, you guys really doing that? But I mean, yeah, we did rush the field like 3 times in 2018.
We were also underdogs in those
We
games,
were.
big time.
Well, wait, no, we did it in 2017, the bucket game, but that was more so we just.
That was just like, oh my God, we're going to a bowl.
Yeah,
9
I
games.
got the bucket back.
yeah. 2018, I think we did Ohio State, obviously. I feel
Iowa.
like we did against Iowa. I don't remember that one.
On the last second field goal. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Oh yeah.
Was
Uh,
Iowa ranked?
Yeah, they were. They
Yeah,
were like
25th or something. Yeah.
But I
But
get
I'm
it. Yeah,
but I don't think they cover the 13.5.
I think they get right at 14.
I
There's
think they cover. Yeah.
something that came out that their president came out and said, or I don't know if it was the president, but now the students have to like submit multiple, or at least a negative test before they
Go home.
go home. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think even when they come back, it's like
That was the president that said that.
okay,
He
it was
had a spreader event himself a couple weeks ago, so not a good look for him either. Number 11, Oregon at Washington State. Oregon's the head and shoulders class of the Pac-12, supposedly. Oregon's a 10-point favorite.
Oregon cover.
I agree. And then the last one, this game's on for now, even though Arkansas's coach Pittman's got COVID. Arkansas at number 6, Florida 17.5-point favorites.
I don't know anything about
Arkansas 3-3, Florida's 4-1. Kyle
I'm just
Trapp,
gonna assume that Florida's gonna kick the
Yeah.
crap out of them.
pretty safe bet with the team without their coach.
Yeah.
So, and the game's postponed. Or number 5, Texas A&M at Tennessee. Number 24, Auburn at Mississippi State. Number 1, Alabama at LSU are all postponed. And some of those teams have the same open week. I know LSU and Alabama do not. So I don't know if they're going to be able to play that game at a later date or not. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But before we get into talking some Boilermaker basketball, we do want to bring up that the Boiler Breakdown is brought to you by Mad Mushroom, serving Boilermakers since 1993. Mad Mushroom was located in the heart of West Lafayette and is well known as the home of the original cheese sticks. Whenever I visit, I like to sit down and have an ice cold beer while trying out their latest pizza of the month, which is this month the Mad Chili Pizza. It's their signature
All that.
dough covered in a house-made chili with onions, jalapenos, mozzarella, and cheddar cheeses, and finished with corn chips. Starts at $13. I'm really hungry right now. That looks really good. But in addition to that, next time you're in town, stop in and tell them the Boiler Breakdown sent you for $5 off any order over $20. And any listener can also use the coupon code BREAK5, that's in all caps, BREAK5, to claim your discount online at madmushroom.com. Mad Mushroom, feed your head. And like always, we are happy to have them on board. They've been a fun sponsor to have on the show. So there's just another reminder for all you viewers there. BREAK5 for $5 off any order over $20 online with that coupon code. They are doing contactless delivery too, like most pizza places are around the country right now. All right, Boilermaker basketball. I feel like a lot of news lately coming out. Season's about 2 weeks away. It's 2 weeks away from tomorrow.
Could have started today.
We will start with Liberty at 6 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. And then we will either play Mississippi State or Clemson the following day on Thanksgiving. So, yep, that's how
Preview of the 2021 football national championship, Purdue versus Clemson.
Find me on. But yeah, I mean, we got some news. There was an inter-squad scrimmage. It was yesterday. Big news coming out of that was Eric Hunter banged knees with a teammate and went down and taken to get some scans and evaluations. We don't know the results of that. Hopefully, Painter was hoping it was just a bone bruise. Sure hope that's the case. We're already a little thin at point guard with true freshman Ethan Morton missing a few weeks with mono, which we remember what happened to Dakota Mathias his true freshman year. And mono can really take a toll on you. It takes you a while to get back into shape.
Usually people just drop weight too, so probably all that work he's put in.
It's gonna be a week, yeah.
Yeah.
Sound like Zach Edey really performed well.
Trevion
from the free throw line, Trevion was money.
Yeah, if Trevion can improve on his free throw shooting, that could be a weapon.
huge.
Yeah.
For Purdue.
Which makes him that more aggressive down low. So if he gets fouled, you're not worried about shooting 40%.
I didn't listen to his interview, but I saw the interview or the video and just him sitting there in the chair. He looked smaller-ish. I don't know. I think he's down a little bit. If he's more athletic and can stay in front and not get into foul trouble. And he was preseason All Big Ten.
Yep, he was one of the 10 players. They did just a 10-player team instead of a first and second team.
Which, if he can play 20, 25 minutes, 25 plus, that would be great.
Sure would. I feel good about what I'm reading about most of the guys. I'm pretty encouraged, even though my expectations aren't huge. Big Ten's got to be loaded. The conference this year, they have 7 teams in the preseason top 25, which is the most for the conference ever.
You got a few. I think Indiana was like right outside the top 25, and then I'm not sure where we fell or where we were if we were even. Yeah.
But yeah, you got 7. I was surprised to see 7 get in the top 25, to be honest. But it's got to
Who were
be
you surprised by?
I didn't think Michigan would be in top 25. To see them ranked 25th, that's surprising.
I think it's just all hype.
I didn't think Ohio State. I didn't think they would make the top 25. They were like in the teens.
Wisconsin was their top 10. Laughable.
That's been on every poll I've seen, so I wasn't surprised. I mean, they are the
Still
co-big champs, and they're returning everybody. They did become better last year once King transferred to Nebraska. I don't know where he ended up because it wasn't Nebraska. But Iowa and Illinois are going to be Bears. They're going to be really good. Michigan State will still be solid. Rutgers will be solid. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. But signing day is tomorrow. Didn't know that till tonight. I guess Purdue's expecting Caleb First and Trey Kaufman-Rand, as he wants to be. There's a hyphen there, kind of two last names into one. They're both expected to sign on the dotted line tomorrow morning and officially become Boilermakers, which will be an exciting day. I mean, anytime you can get 2 of the top 10 recruits of all time in Purdue basketball history together in one class, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
From the same state.
I mean, pretty similar positions. Obviously, we talked about it in previous podcasts about how I think they'll definitely be able to play really well together. Just now, absolutely. I mean, really, back-to-back classes by Painter have been phenomenal. I mean, would you guys say this might be his best back-to-back classes? I mean, you got 2. I mean, obviously, last year we were really hoping for a third, big-time recruit, whether it be Hunter Dickinson, the kid who went to Creighton, who I'm blanking on his name right now.
Ryan something. Big tall kid.
Yeah. And then we had the kid who ended up going to Wisconsin, who was more of a forward. Those are kind of our top 3. And then we ended up striking out all of them and getting Edey. But from all accounts, it sounds like Edey is doing really well, and you can't teach 7'3". So, and he's mobile.
And he's seems pretty athletic for 7'3", it sounds like.
He played hockey, baseball. But I mean, you got your guards of the future last year with Eaton Morton and Ivy, and you got your back or your front court this year with Kaufman and First. So, I mean, we were talking about kind of off air before we started, but I mean, we're talking about this year, but I think we're already really excited for just to see next year, to see these guys come in. Yeah,
I mean, if Purdue proves to be pretty good this year, next year's going to be really exciting with everybody coming back. Presumably, everybody coming back.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. It just doesn't feel like basketball season's here, but we are already on November 10th, so it is time. It just doesn't feel like it this year. I think basketball, but it'd be a lot different than football.
I couldn't remember, so I had to go look it up. Does this remind you? Not remind you, but kind of makes me think of like 14, 15. I was like, right, who came in before, after like Dakota, Vince Edwards, Isaac Haas. So last year you got the guards and Edie, I guess, with Ivy, Morton, and now we've got the forwards stacked on top of them. I feel like just Painter's kind of hit a groove a little bit. Sorry, I know we kind of moved on from that. Webby, you asked, is this like his best like back to back? But then to follow up that class with Biggie and Ryan Klein the next year.
That's true. It's McDonald's All-American and sharpshooter.
I think he's definitely hit a groove, though. I think he goes back to Elite Eight, man. That run made Purdue look cool. Carson Edwards made Purdue look cool. Man, I think
and then Carson the year after that. So
what will be interesting, but even that wasn't even. I mean, we got him, but obviously he wasn't Carson that we knew. I mean, we had already we had gotten a commitment from what's his face, CJ Walker, who then he decommitted getting it, so I ended up letting us get Carson. But I mean, he wasn't definitely. He was what, like in the 100s or something like that. So
he wasn't.
Rough.
Yeah. It was, I remember his introduction was the video that came out from practice where he dunked over Haas. That's kind of where we're like, oh, okay, let's get, maybe he got something. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see kind of how these guys pan out.
We don't know the Big Ten schedule yet. We're hoping that comes out sometime this week. The ACC released theirs today, so that tells me the Big Ten's got to be coming soon. But we do know a few of the non-conference games. Webby, if you want to pull that up there.
Yeah, so we start out, like Tanner said earlier, Liberty, November 25th, down at the Space Coast Challenge in Melbourne, Florida, or Melbourne. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, depending on if you're Australian or not. Then, if we, like you said, we either follow that up with Mississippi State or Clemson on Thursday. Then we've got on December 4th, which is a Friday, at Mackey. So the first game at Mackey that we know of is against in-state opponent Valpo. Then on a couple days later, on Tuesday, December 8th, we travel, Boiler taking our talents to South Beach to play the Miami Hurricanes in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. I'm trying to go over some other notable challenge. Was it Duke in Illinois? Is probably the headliner for that one.
North Carolina and
Iowa. Just some weird. I mean, Iowa versus North Carolina. It's weird to see that combo.
Yeah.
And then the last, or I guess we do have the. I guess that'll probably follow up. So then we got December 12th at Mackey. I think we play. Actually, it doesn't say. Indiana State, and then I would assume
game.
Okay, and then I assume probably the 19th is going to be the Crossroads against Notre Dame. It's not on the schedule yet, but Notre Dame did release their schedule.
Finals week is not an excuse this year because all finals will be done virtually. So that's not an excuse, and I believe this is the last year on the contract of the Crossroads Classic. So this could definitely be the last year of the tournament, or not tournament, the event. Wouldn't break my heart, to be honest. It's been a nice event.
Cool event.
We suck at it. Take us out and replace us with somebody else.
Have they officially announced that there's going to be fans if they're going to allow fans yet, or is that? I mean, I know like Purdue's selling. You can buy cutouts like you could at a Rockade.
Families only, probably.
I would be stunned.
Yeah,
it's going to be weird.
It's going to be a
weird
environment than football.
Yeah,
I mean that. It takes. We've talked about this
so much echo.
Hey, you're gonna hear Painter. You're gonna hear every word Painter says.
That I'm excited for. I am excited about that.
That's gonna be cool, but it takes Purdue's home court advantage just completely.
Who are you least looking forward to hearing?
Fran.
Yeah, Fran's a good one.
That's gonna be awesome to watch.
I just don't want to listen to him.
Hey,
Patino,
yeah. Izzo. Just kidding, Izzo.
Hear him complain to the refs the whole freaking game.
I wish Cream was on the Big Ten.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm gonna love to hear. I'm gonna have to watch some Georgia games.
You have to watch some SEC Network.
They're gonna have fans probably though in the South. They're gonna.
They probably will.
They're gonna pack it out. Yeah.
You don't hear him.
I mean, let's be honest. Only
Wildcat fans out of Rupp Arena.
The only teams in the SEC that would be able to fill arena is Kentucky, Tennessee, and maybe Florida. No one else really cares.
Yeah. Good point. Before we break here, The Boiler Breakdown podcast also sponsored by Webb's Family Pharmacy. Webb's Family Pharmacy is an independently owned company. Wow, I messed that one up. Webb's Family Pharmacy is an independently owned community pharmacy with stores located in Rochester, Akron, and North Manchester, Indiana. Webb's is happy to announce that they are providing flu shots by appointment right in your car. Simply call them to set up an appointment, and their friendly and caring staff will be happy to help you. For all of your high-quality medical equipment, supplies, and pharmacy services, check out www.webrx.com or give them a call. Webb's Family Pharmacy, the professional pharmacy with a hometown touch. Got to apologize to your dad for that one, Webby. I butchered that one. And there's a nice look at their newly outside renovated within the past year.
At least definitely the last couple of years.
Yeah, that sign looks great in downtown Rochester right there. So
renovated the inside a little bit too. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looked great. So, and plus, if you're looking for some good Christmas gifts, go in there shopping. They got some really nice stuff for Christmas.
Yeah, the front of the store right off Main Street they've done a great job.
Yes, they have.
With those types of gifts.
Absolutely. It seems like they get new additions of really neat things per month, which is their Instagram account, which you can follow them on Instagram and Twitter. They like to show those things off. So, and the Boiler Breakdown podcast is also sponsored for the second year in a row by Schroff Landscaping Nurseries. Schroff Landscape has been in business for 50 years and can handle all of your landscaping needs, including landscape design, maintenance, irrigation, hardscaping, fall cleanup, and they are licensed lawn applicators. Contact them today for all your landscaping needs at 574-223-2769. Schroff Landscaping, design with you in mind, or you can contact them at 317-694-9763. Either number works. Any closing thoughts?
It's good to have football back.
It is. I missed it last week, man. That was.
I'm excited for a primetime game.
Yeah, I'm excited to wait all day. I mean, it'd be a lot better if we were going. Obviously,
Webby, at least you got the Masters. That'll keep you occupied throughout the day.
Nice shirt there, Andrew. I noticed the shirt. Yeah, it's going to be a good sports weekend. I got a feeling it's going to be a good time, and
I hope so.
And since you can't go to Ross-Ade, order a pizza from Mad Mush, some cheese sticks, grinders, wings, all the above. Make it a big party for you and your household. So, I don't think I got any other thoughts up. I just want to get a W, get 3-0, and possibly break into the rankings for the first time since 2007 and be the leaders in the West.
Where is Purdue in the ranking? Were they like 29th or something?
I think the coaches poll we were higher than
coaches poll. They were 29th, and the AP were 32nd, I believe.
Okay.
So
would a win? Does a win get Purdue ranked?
Well, it kind of depends what happens, but
a win will need probably some help.
Yeah, but I mean, we'd be 3-0 and had beaten a ranked team. So we'll see. I want to join the other Indiana teams in the rankings. So. With that said, let's boiler up, hammer down, and beat those Wildcats Saturday night.
Boiler up.